Grand Rising, Karen. Hello, darling. Hello, Grand Rising, yeah. Oh, I love you too. I loved your video yesterday. It was so good. I know, April. Can you believe it's Friday already? I can't. I can't. At all. Oh yeah, all y'all are making a difference. Hey, Grand Rising Dolly. Hi, beautiful. Grand Rising Pepsi. Hi, beautiful. Hi, Flower Power. Yay. Yes, I hope so too, darling. You've been waiting a long time. Yep, go with the flow. Yep. Hi, hippie. Hi. Good to see you. It is Friday already, guys. I can't even with how time is going. Time is an illusion. It really is. Nah, thank you, Pepsi. It's all vibratory. All about your vibration. All about your frequency. TikTok. Hello, Jill. Oh yeah, the full moon. I went out last night here and the moon was beautiful, big and full. And then I came in to get my camera, my phone, and in between coming in and getting my phone and going outside and taking a picture, I somehow lost my mind and forgot what I was doing. And I couldn't figure out what I was doing. Hello, Cinnamon. Hi, Elisa. Grand Rising. So I didn't actually get a picture of the full moon. I meant to, but I didn't get one. It's like squirrel or butterfly, right? I call it butterfly when something like that happens. Ooh, that's awesome. I see dragons all the time. All the time. Grand Rising Val. Hello, darling. We've got cards today. An extra chakra wisdom card wanted to come out, so I let it come out. We have, we're going to do a rune today. We are going to do the Immortal today. We may have a message from an Ascended Master, not sure yet. And back to I Am God. Yesterday we found out our angelic names. And all classes that I could are up in YouTube. There was one that I couldn't put up because of some music I had in it. They wouldn't let me put it up, but it is what it is. Yeah. Oh, you're waking up way early, yeah. It's like, what, 6 o'clock there? 6 o'clock? Woof. All right. Welcome in, everyone. It is Friday. We're going to go right into our Spotify list and let Spirit lead us in music. If you hear a song that reminds you of a past loved one, it is them coming in to give you a big old squeeze, big old hug, and to say hello. So here we go. I'd love to change the world. Okay, we listened to that yesterday. Oh, it's not going to let me, is it? Ha ha ha. Well, come on. Well, I'll figure it out. Hello, Lynette. Hello, darling. Yep, it wants this song to play, so I'd love to change the world. The universe is sending us. Okay. I keep dropping this mouse. I'm going to break it. There we go. It's an older song. Okay. Got my third eye incense burning. Put some rose oil on my wrists to keep me high vibe. And we're going to go through our... Ooh, you have an interesting deep dive to your angel name. Awesome. All right, here is our chakra wisdom cards. Like I said, 2 fell out today. So we're going to have 2 chakra wisdom messages today. The first one is spiritual awareness, the crown chakra. We've been getting a lot of crown chakra lately. When my mind sways negatively, I remind myself of love, truth, gratitude, and spirit. I am the observer of my thoughts, and I do not let them bring me down. I remind myself to have gratitude and acceptance. Hello, Sharon, Grand Rising. For what is, and to have the courage of my convictions. I continually pursue a clearer understanding of spiritual truths behind all that is and all that is unfolding. I ask myself, is what I'm thinking the truth? And is it having a positive or negative impact on my life? It's being spiritually aware. Look, oh my goodness, another good one. 6th chakra and 7th. We have been getting messages from the higher chakras. Knowledge. I recognize that a great deal of knowledge and information comes to me in the form of intuition, such as clairvoyance, clairaudience, and hypersensitive feelings. I use my intellect combined with my intuition to delve into circumstances from a philosophical and spiritual viewpoint. Yes, hi, Teresa. Hi, beautiful angel. I aim to understand the truth behind situations that come my way, as this helps me to respond with wisdom. And I cultivate positive beliefs about life, myself, and others. Yes, knowledge. So we have spiritual awareness and knowledge were the two important messages that Spirit wanted to say. Becoming spiritually aware is always a good thing, but usually don't feel like it at first. Right, hippie, right. Sometimes being spiritually aware can knock us, right? It can knock us because we're not... Some things that I've seen, I wish I didn't see, but in a way, but I'm glad I saw them. You know, it's kind of like that kind of situation. All right, here's our healing energy oracle. Manifestation of light. I see the beauty in me. I grow and develop my inner self in harmony with light and beauty. I free myself from negativity. My heart transforms, my intellect shines, and my inner light grows. Yes. Hi, Trina. Hi, beautiful angel. Manifestation of light. That's the solar plexus. There's the heart chakra. There's transformation. I am constantly evolving. I improve inwardly by working on my weaknesses and refining my strengths. Life ensures I'm presented with situations that will help me learn and grow. I am aware of my progress and open my wings to the light. This is getting through that heart chakra, transform. Then you start transforming your life, yourself, your body, everything. Learning to love myself. I choose to see the beauty in me. My wealth lies in my nature and potential. I transform my weaknesses into strengths. I realize that I am a being of light and I allow myself to shine. So we got 2 transformation cards today. 2. Awesome. Here's our work your light with the rainbow light codes. Grab these codes as they come out to you guys. The first one is protection, right? We definitely have to protect our energy in this time. Definitely. Call back your power. Cut the cords. Soul retrieval. We're retrieving all the parts of our souls to become our whole higher self. Yes. You're already doing it. If you think there's something that you're missing that you have to do, no, you're not missing anything. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north, right? We are reaching the finish line, guys, and it is glorious. It is glorious. And here is Unbound, releasing old soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Give it all to God, right? Give everything that is in your past to God. Live in the now moment. Don't live in the future. Live in the now. Don't live in the past. Live in the now. Right. Here's our starseed oracle. We are all starseeds. Weight of the world, boundaries. See, let it go. It's not yours to carry. It's not yours to carry. Hey, Ashley. Hi, beautiful. Child of the cosmos, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. Yes, child of the cosmos. And surrender to the sweetness. Venus energy, pleasure, joy, making love to life. Yes, surrender. Hello. All right, our angel card for the day is stargazing. When you gaze at the stars, you give yourself fairy focus. Your intuition will flow more freely and reveal what you need to know about your situation. Yes. The universe is sending us Aquarius, the fifth dimension. The age of Aquarius, the fifth dimension. That's what it's sending us right now. Peace will guide our planets, and love will steer the stars. Yes. Here's our crystal for the day. And it's the Unikite, answered prayers. All of your great work has opened the door for divine solutions and support. Oh, I got up this morning and I did a video. So I got into my email. I piddled around this morning. I didn't do dancing. I just piddled around the house. And that storm that was coming, Sarah, it's gone. It's basically diminished. We did it. We did it. Ever since I first heard about that storm, I have been focused on it and focused on loving it and giving it so much love that it took the anger away. Yeah, I made a video about it. I was like, yes, we did it. They can throw all this stuff at us. We neutralize it. We neutralize that storm into nothing. It's not even going to be a tropical storm. And it went the other way. Hi, BX. Hi, beautiful. So good job, guys. Thank you. Thank you all. Because as soon as we put our attention onto something, we can affect the change. Yes. So Storm Sarah is no more. Storm Sarah is no more. Hi, Henry. Hi, darling. How are you? Welcome in. Here is our animal for the day. It's the ram. Perseverance. Yes, we must have perseverance. We must never give up. You have so many gifts. No problem can withstand the power of your mind. With patience, you can reach your mountaintop. Never give up and good luck will follow. Yes. Perseverance, the ram. Is that Russ? Russ is coming in through the cards. He's always coming in. Here is our awakened dreamer. Awakened dreamer says, I'll have what I'm having. There's no need to try and manipulate the universe into giving you something you don't have, because the truth is you already have everything. Hi, Betty. Hi, darling. It may simply be tucked away. The trick is in fine-tuning your awareness to remember that what you want, you already have. We already have everything. We don't want anything. We are never in need of anything. We have it all, right? We have good health. We have we have prosperity. We have love. Yes. Hi, Steffi. Hi, darling. Our butterfly for the day. We always have a butterfly because we are the butterfly sanctuary. Every dark night must turn into a bright new morning. Every dark night must turn into a bright new morning. We've all gone through the dark night of the soul. If there's anyone in here that has not gone through the dark night of the soul, well, it's coming, because everyone has certain things that they have to let go and they have to go into and forgive and all this stuff. All of us have had the dark night of the soul. But yes, it is a new day, a new day. And here is our ascended master. When you think of the Dark Knight, you think of Batman. Right, because he is the Dark Knight. Batman. Our ascended master is Mahavatar Babaji, soul expansion. Your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connections between all things. You became Batman? Woohoo! We love Batman. Brandy. You think it lasted 20 years? Sometimes we have to look at everything in the perspective of the bigger picture, right? All right, we have a rune today. We're going to pull a rune for the day. We pull a rune on Friday and we go through a portal on Monday. How's that portal been for y'all this week? The portal was awesome for me. Awesome. Right? I don't know about 20 years. Living in the dark night. And here it is. We got the... All right, I'm not sure about this one, so I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look that one up. If anyone knows it, shout it out. What we need to do is we need to learn our runes better, I think. It's called the Thorn, the Troll, Protection, Polarity, Regeneration. It's called the Tibursis. Aw, Brandy. I'm giving you a big old hug, darling. It's over. It's over. The dark night is over. Let's see. Thurisaz. Let's talk about that. The rune we got. Ifing the river is called I will cross over. The bridge, impregnated by your hammer, expectant in the storm. You torment and fester until chaos. Birth's fertility. Thur says, my firstborn belongs to you. Yes. Oh, no worries, Cinnamon. Some people are having a lot of problems in TikTok. I've had problems with TikTok. It is what it is. It is what it is. There is a river that separates the realm of the gods from the land of the giants. Ifing the river is called Ifing, the river of doubt. It runs so swiftly, ice never forms on it. It runs so swiftly, it is difficult to cross. Why does there need to be a separation between the gods and the giants? Why would this separation be called doubt? And how is it that Thor crosses over the river so easily? He most definitely carries the blood of giants from his mother's line. She is Jord, giantess of earth and soil, land and crops, and the daughter of Not, the giantess of night. Not. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys have researched, but in the Egyptian paintings where you see the goddess that is like a bridge, that's Not. If you can picture her, she's usually got stars all over her body, and she's a bridge in the Egyptian paintings, in the Egyptian painting. She's called the giantess of night. Thor most often gets placed in the Aesir pantheon alongside his father Odin, but rarely does anyone remember that Thor is more than half giant. So is Odin, for that matter, and they both cross over the river into other realms. Thor is a storm god. Yes. Much loved and honored by people, he is roaring thunder and flashes of lightning that strike the earth and fertilize the soil. His hammer is used in the blessing rituals of new brides, imparting fertility. His hammer is hung on the plow as it turns the soil in spring, thus assuring abundant crops for the coming year. When Thor arrives in the storm in his chariot drawn by goats, does he use his hammer to impregnate his mother? Is this yet another story of the mother who gives birth to a son who becomes her lover? The frost giants are called Thurs, so perhaps Thursaz is the rune of these giants. They appeared at the very beginning out of the chaos of fire and ice. Does Thursaz carry with it some of the chaos that exists at the moment of emerging? When it shows itself in your life or in a reading, it would serve you well to ponder. What is my river of doubt? Which side of the river am I on? Where am I most comfortable? And how easy is it for me to cross over? What impregnates me? And when I give birth, who claims my firstborn? Do I deny or ignore the parts of myself that carry the lineage of the giants of chaos? Do I favor instead only the parts that the high gods approve? This, to me, was confusing. I need to look this up in normal, because this is confusing me. I get the rainbow, I get the goddess Not, but I'm not understanding the rest of this. So, in order to understand it, I'm going to get the English meaning of Thurisaz. I can't even barely pronounce the word. Okay. It's shunned by runesters. It represents the forces of chaos. That's which we fear, the powerful emotions and drivers lurking beneath. Ah, now I get it. The mountain forbidding, implacable, thrust up from the belly of the earth, shrouded in cloud and snow, a land impenetrable to all but the bravest, strongest, and most single-minded. I believe this is just a reminder of the chaos that is coming. And just a reminder that we are the thunder. We are the lightning. We are Thor. Let's see. Protection also. Power and might. It says Thurisaz can make people nervous, and perhaps rightly so given its strength. Hammer of Thor. Okay. But because that, I'm going to see if I can find Newt. Picture. So I can show you what I meant. Yeah, there she is. There she is. Let's see if I can get it to come up. She's goddess of the stars. And this is what I was talking about, right? She's always like that, like a bridge and stars on her body. That's Newt. That's the rune we got today. If you guys didn't know what that looked like. She's called Newt or Not. Goddess of the stars. Let's see if they got another picture here. Ooh. There's a picture of her facing. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. Right there. Right there. 3 balls. 3. The number 3 has been coming up a lot. Right? A lot. Newt. Or Nut. Yep. I actually had a girl in one of my guilds in World of Warcraft, and she named herself Newt. And that is how I got familiar with this goddess. And that is the rune that came out for us today. Dun, dun, dun. And that's what it looks like. So you guys won't forget. We're going to learn the runes sooner or later, right? I still don't know them by heart. But I won't forget that one again because look, it looks like a bridge. It looks like a bridge. Yep. Yep. So we'll remember that one, right? Thurisaz. Thurisaz. Okay. Next thing we're going to get into is the Immortal, because I know you guys love this book, because I love it. The Immortal is, legend has it, that John, the author of the Apocalypse, never died and still walks the earth after 2,000 years. He wrote the Revelations, guys. These pages have the fascinating story of one man's encounter with a virtual immortal. His name is John. All right, chapter 3 in book 2 is An Attempt to Heal, is what it's called. Remember, the wife has MS. Okay. That next morning would have been perfect had it not been for the nagging awareness that the Brothers of Light were having some major problems to deal with, and that John, who I now considered a personal friend, was working at great sacrifice for the benefit of mankind. Somehow I was beginning to feel some type of spiritual link with him. I seemed to be experiencing some awareness of his consciousness and sensed he was having difficulty of some type. I also sensed a strong belief that the purpose he espoused would prevail. I didn't have any pressing appointments, so I stayed home that morning and told Elizabeth my experience. After I finished, she reflected a moment and said, "That's all very interesting, but don't you think it could have just been a dream?" "I don't think so. I have had many dreams before, but none like this one. The experience was at least as real as I am experiencing talking to you this moment." "Okay, if it was real, then why didn't you guys take me along with you?" "Well, that was not my choice, but if I had to guess, I would say it has something to do with me needing practice." "What do you mean practice?" "Remember, John told us it would help to solidify the teachings in my mind if I explain them to you. By teaching you, I am preparing myself to teach others in the future." Elizabeth smiled. "Sounds like a lame excuse, but I'll play along for now. If you are supposed to be my teacher, how about coming up with something to help me overcome this disease? It sounds like you don't yet fully have the first key, and I don't want to wait here forever." She becomes like, there was a few times that I wanted to reach through the book and slap her. Like she becomes cantankerous. But you'll find out what her story is, and you're going to be like, "Whoa." Because I was. Yeah. She has an attitude. I took a deep breath. "I'm glad you brought that up. During my period of rest in the New Jerusalem, I had a lot of interesting thoughts go through my mind. It was as if I saw things much more clearly when I contemplated there. And one of the things I thought about was your illness. I began to see we were putting too much weight on waiting for a miracle to happen when we solve the keys, and not doing enough to help others ourselves now. I saw that the greatest miracles happen among the human kingdom after we do all we can with what we have. I saw that there are certain beings called watchers, who some may also call angels, who watch various human groups." Isn't it funny that Steffi drew a picture of us with eyes all around us? The watchers. Ding, ding, ding. "I noticed they rarely intervene for human good unless we do all we know first. I caught a glimpse of the suffering humans experience on the earth, and I saw much of it happens because people just don't take the course of action that they know within their hearts they are supposed to do. Then I saw something that is unfortunately a rare occasion. Among mankind, there are individuals here and there who search their inner selves and follow the highest path they can perceive. I saw that these individuals had many things happen to them that seemed to be bad luck. But if they persevered and did everything within their power to press on to their goal, there were times the watchers were moved, came forward, and assisted them with an unseen hand. And in this case, the miraculous did happen. Sometimes it was an instantaneous healing. Sometimes it was the right people showing up at the right time to help. Other times it was the removal of obstacles, and sometimes it was even money. But I had a sense of inner joy that the faithful person received when he or she received the direct assistance of a watcher. I saw that the joy came as a result of the person following through with the highest knowledge that he could perceive. And that's what I want to talk with you about. We must now follow through with the highest knowledge we have about your disease. And what is that? Elizabeth asked impatiently. I suppose you want me to have my mercury fillings removed. Well, I've thought about it, and I'm not convinced it will help. A handful of people seem to benefit, but others do not. That is a possibility, I said, but that's not what I have in mind. The law I perceived is we must follow the highest we know. Now, we do not know for sure about the mercury thing, but there is something that we do know for sure about. Elizabeth scowled at me. As far as this disease is concerned, I don't think there is anything I know for sure, except that John does have the power to heal me. I just wish he would quit playing these games with me and just make me whole so I can get on with my life. But that's my whole point. I struggled to find the right wording so I would not offend her. I saw the miracle will not happen unless we do all we can do first. That if John were to just heal you, he would be violating some type of higher law. Well, I've done all I can do, so I should be ready for healing, shouldn't I? She asked defiantly. There is one thing we definitely know that we haven't done, I replied. And what is that? She asked. John gave us some knowledge about MS and other diseases I felt was true and that we should follow. I think you felt it too, and I perceive you know within yourself that there is something you must do. There are fears and emotions within you that you are trying to pretend don't exist. This is a form of deception, and all deceptions must be dispelled to have perfect health. Elizabeth sighed and shook her head. Here we go again. How am I deceiving myself? A while back, we talked about your early upbringing and a fear of hell, and you acted very evasive, I said. I think it has something to do with that. Mentally, the traditional hellfire and brimstone doesn't make sense to you, but emotionally, I think there are some residual fears there. I don't think so, she said. Don't you see you're saying that because of denial? If you are really over your fears, then it wouldn't bother you to face them, will it? I'm not afraid to face them. There is nothing to face, she insisted. I think you have two major fears, I insisted. First, a fear of displeasing your parents. I think you carry this fear, even when you are not in contact with them. The second fear is a fear of hell, which is in connection with some ingrained guilt complex. Basically, I think you need to face the reasons for your guilt. But I don't have any guilt, Elizabeth repeated. I gave up guilt when I quit believing in a God that would damn us to hellfire and brimstone for eternity. I know you don't want to believe in a God like that, but I think you still fear that such a God exists. And just what makes you say such a thing? She challenged loudly. I thought for a moment. This was a critical point in our discussions. I had to get through to Elizabeth on this. 3 things. When I was in the New Jerusalem in meditation, it just came to me that I had to pursue this direction with you. Also, I think the dark brother who gave you such a bad time was able to obtain the power he did because of some fear or guilt you carry. Finally, John hinted your disease is caused by unexamined fears. I think you need to be honest here. I knelt down in front of her. Do you still fear the damnation of hell and a God of vengeance? Elizabeth looked uneasy. Tears came to her eyes. What do you want me to do? Lie and say I'm afraid when I am not? Look, I know this is difficult for you, I said, putting my hands on her shoulders. But just humor me for a moment. If you have blocked out fear and guilt, it would seem they don't exist, even though they are still there, lingering on the shelf, doing damage. It's like heading for a cliff when you think you are seeing a straight road ahead. You have to see what is really there to avoid disaster. I felt impressed to tell you that you must see the true picture here to be healed. So how am I supposed to see or feel something I don't see or feel or don't even believe exists? First, you have to be open to the possibility that some hidden guilt or fear is there. Can you be open to that? No, I don't want to be open to it. I got rid of my guilt years ago and don't even want to think about bringing it back. Elizabeth looked like she wanted to run away if she could. Don't you see, you've just stated the problem. You don't want to face these things. I think you've got to face them. Your life may depend on it. Why don't you just go face your fears first? She shot back. Sweetie, I began softly, I don't mean to agitate you, but I am not the one who is sick here. Don't you realize I am trying to help you because I love you and want to keep you here with me? Of course I realize that, but I think you are as deceived as I am. You see, guilt and fear that doesn't exist. Okay, if guilt and fear doesn't exist in you, then you shouldn't be afraid to discuss them, should you? I suppose not, she said defiantly, but more subdued than before. I was talking to your mother the other day about that preacher your dad used to take you to listen to. I believe they called him Reverend Bill. She said she had some tapes of his best sermons. I acted interested in hearing them, and she loaned me a couple. I have them in the car now. How about if I go get them, and we'll listen to one right now? Elizabeth looked startled. I can't stand that man and do not want to hear his voice. Just give those tapes back to my mother. I thought you weren't afraid of facing your fears, I challenged. I'm not afraid of Reverend Bill. I just despise the man. When he died a few years ago, I thought he was out of my life for good, and now you try to bring him back? Elizabeth, listen to what you are saying. You are afraid of the man. You need to face him one last time. If you were truly not afraid, you would humor me and listen. Not liking something and fearing it are two different things, Elizabeth replied evenly. There's a lot of music I don't like, but it isn't painful to listen to. If you just do not like Reverend Bill, then I would venture to say that listening to him as a favor to me would be no big deal. If you refuse to listen to him, that convinces me that you're afraid. I knew this psychology would get to Elizabeth. She is always up to a challenge. The look on her face convinced me I was right. I'm not afraid. Bring in the damn tape and play it. Then I don't want to hear any more about this again. Without further comment, I ran out to the car and got the tapes. This was one time I was glad she couldn't get up and run away. I knew I finally had her in a situation where the healing could begin. As I put the tape in the recorder, I noticed Elizabeth was trying to look away. I guess this must be what they mean by tough love, I said to myself as I pressed play. Elizabeth looked very uncomfortable as we listened to the preacher's introductory remarks. It wasn't long before he started laying it on thick. You think you can possibly escape the wrath of God and the hell you with the devil and his angels just by being what you think is a good person? I say unto you, nay, unless you are washed by the blood of Jesus and are accepted into his flock, you shall in no ways inherit the kingdom of God. The devil is out there, I tell you, and he seeks to ensnare you. Do you feel lust for the opposite sex? Then you have sinned already, and he who falls short of the glory of God will go to a place where the worm dieth not, and his thirst is not quenched. You shall be burned with fire from the presence of the Lord. He rambled on for several minutes in a similar vein, but then he said something that even made me cringe. Guys, oh my gosh. This is what stopped me from going to church, from a dang reverend like this guy, right? And the next thing he says, have you ever burned a finger on a hot stove? He shouted. Of course you have. It hurts, doesn't it? Now, have you ever held your hand in a pot of boiling water? Probably not. But you can imagine how bad it would hurt. Not imagine. Now imagine how much worse it would feel to have your whole body roasted in a burning lava. Now here on earth, if you jumped into molten lava, the pain would be all over in a few seconds. But under God's punishment, you burn and burn and burn forever and ever and ever, with no relief. If you are not open to God's great mercies and love here on earth, God will have no mercy on you in hell. Have you broken even one of the commandments? Then the lake of fire will be your fate if you do not receive the grace of God through the blood of Jesus. Right? Who had a dang reverend like this in their lives? I did. And that stopped me from going to church. Right? I noticed Elizabeth was visibly disturbed. I couldn't blame her. This man's interpretation of the scripture was outrageous. I turned the tape player off and put my arm around her. She started to gently cry and then wept profusely. This is it, my dear, I tried to assure her, holding her closer. This is a fear you need to face. Everyone has broken some commandments, haven't they? She choked out, asking for reassurance. Of course they have. I'm sure Reverend Bill has also, I replied softly. I tried to receive God's grace and forgiveness. I tried, but I still felt guilty. I was not sure I was forgiven, so I told myself that Reverend Bill's God could not exist. I created a happier version of God, but something in me still feared this God of vengeance. I could never completely switch over to a God of love. Oh God, I can't believe these feelings still exist. I thought I buried them long ago. That's where the problem is, sweetheart. You buried those feelings. Now we are going to bring them to the surface and destroy them once and for all. But how? She asked, reaching in her skirt for a tissue, and blew her nose. I've tried everything to get rid of my guilt and fear. I thought they were gone, and now they are back again, stronger than ever. I grabbed her firmly and looked into her eyes. I have something very important to tell you. I did go to the New Jerusalem, and somehow, during my meditation, I tuned into the universal spirit of God as I had never done before. It was like certain knowledge was poured into me. There are now things I know for sure. Some of these things I thought I knew, but they were like theories then, and now it is like sure knowledge. One of those things is the love of God. God would never send anyone to a fiery pit for eternity, especially for some small infraction by a sincere person such as yourself. Nevertheless, there is suffering both in this world and the next, and any suffering we endure, we bring on ourselves. We must look within ourselves for the cause of any suffering we have, and bring that cause to the surface and face it. Then we must harmonize our outer selves with our inner selves. The great truth I perceived is that God would never dream of punishing us as much as we punish ourselves. We treat ourselves so horrifically that no devil with a pitchfork is needed. Our own guilt is the sharp ends of the devil's pitchfork. Our own resistance to accepting ourselves as part of the love of God is the fires of hell. And our efforts to pretend that we don't feel the Spirit of God is the worm that dieth not. All the eternal punishments mentioned in the scriptures are descriptions of what we do to ourselves. Right? We are our worst critics. Elizabeth looked at me for a moment, not convinced my words were true. Well, if God is truly love, then why does he allow us to hurt ourselves so much? Because to not allow it would take away from us what we are. Decision is the first key word, and without the power of decision, which includes being responsible for the effects of our decisions, we would virtually cease to exist. According to John, we are even more than the results of our decisions. This power is somehow connected with the essence of our very being. Your power of decision leads you to the fear and guilt that caused your dis-ease, and now decision can lead you back to health. You've got to take your power back to yourself and not give it away to some hateful God. Wow, I said, things I didn't even know that I knew. Somehow teaching someone else brings forth knowledge from some deeper place than your conscious awareness, I thought to myself. Elizabeth was startled too. So when did you get so wise? You're beginning to sound like John. I laughed. This may sound crazy, but I was just thinking the same thing. It's like I'm tuning into his mind somehow and partaking of his wisdom. I don't know if I would have had the wherewithal to push you this far, but it's like I know where I am supposed to take you. Well, she said, so far you have managed to bring up a problem in my life I thought I had left far behind, and you've driven me to a very uncomfortable state of mind that makes me feel worse and not better. So what's the next step? I'm not sure, I said. I really thought Elizabeth felt better, but I didn't want to push my luck. So what does John's mind say about it? She quipped. I wasn't sure if she was being serious here or not, but her statement changed the direction of my thought. For a few moments, I felt very sure of the direction I had to take my wife, but then I seemed to doubt myself and lost the direction. I instinctively knew I could answer Elizabeth's question if I could tune into John's mind, the spirit, or whatever it was that was guiding me. John's mind. Yes, why not? Let me close my eyes and contemplate a moment. I closed my eyes for a moment and felt a warm vibration that reminded me of the New Jerusalem. Within seconds, I knew the answer. How many of us do that? Close our eyes and listen for an answer. I do this all the time. The next step, I said, I know what it is and you won't like it. Why am I not surprised? Elizabeth asked sarcastically. I wish I could have a pleasant surprise, but here goes. The first thing you must do is listen to this tape over and over until it doesn't bother you to hear it. You must be able to listen to anything Reverend Bill says and be no more affected than if you watched a Mickey Mouse cartoon. Elizabeth squirmed a moment and frowned. I don't know. The little I did listen to made me feel a lot worse, not better. I don't know if I can take it anymore. You'll have to take even more than this tape. I have 2 more. I hoped I wasn't pushing too hard too fast. Mom gave you 3 of those tapes? She must hate me. Elizabeth started wheeling her chair out of the room. I followed. Actually, she thought it would do you some good to get some more religion. I believe she was right, but not in the way she thinks. Aha, my name is Human. I added quickly. I'll tell you what, I think you've had enough for one day. Why don't you take it easy and relax today and plan on listening to the tapes tomorrow? I asked, hopefully mentally crossing my fingers. And what makes you so confident I will do such a torturous thing? She asked almost playfully. 2 things, I said. First, I know you want to live. And second, if you check with your inner self, you will know it is the right thing to do. Will you at least promise me you will think about it? All right, I'll think about it. Now you had better get ready for work. I approached her wheelchair, knelt beside her, embraced her lightly, and looked into her eyes. I know a door is opening for your healing, and I want you to take it. I need you to take it. It will be like living in the New Jerusalem if you are well and healthy again. I felt a lump in my throat. Elizabeth lovingly touched my face and kissed me lightly. I said, I'll think about it. Now go to work. Wow. Yes. I think someone in here needed to hear that. Like I said, Spirit leads me to things for you guys, for all of us. And when I read that chapter, I was like, wow, that could have been me, right? Right? Because my mother brought me to a church when I was like 12 years old. And this preacher was just going off. Did I stay and listen? No. At the end of the church, I told my mom, I don't want to go to church anymore. It's scary. Right? And from then on, I was my own church. I never went into another church because of that scared me. Yeah. Who's playing? Someone's playing? Who? You should go, Dolly. If you want to go, go. Yeah. Yeah. Trey, you were kicked out of a church at a very young age. Hey, Trey. Hi, beautiful. You and your preacher dad disagreed. Oh, your dad was a preacher? Wow. Never felt bad about getting... Wow, it looks like a lot of us have had this experience. Yeah. Wow, Sharon. Does it ever come up for you now, though? And how do you feel about it now? I presented my wife more spiritual life information 3 years ago for healing, and she rejected. Yeah. Always her choice, Mark. Always her choice, right? You heard Elizabeth. She's fighting it herself. She's fighting it. She didn't want to do it. Oh, just wait to see what happens. This is crazy. Absolute crazy. What happens after this? Aw. You were kicked out of the Jehovah Witnesses, and it was a favor in so many ways.
Experience holiday cheer at Tanger outlets this season.
Yeah.
Savings up to 70% off your favorite brands. From fragrances to accessories and all the latest styles, discover the best gifts for everyone.
Well, I'm glad that you guys can relate to this. And if there's anyone that still thinks that God is a vengeful, hateful, non-loving God because of things that were said to you by a crazy-ass preacher when you were a child, throw that out the window. Right now, throw it out the window. You're your worst critic. God isn't a critic. God doesn't judge you. You judge yourself. You judge yourself. Right? Jesus went to a temple and told them off. Mm-hmm. Right, Sharon. Mm-hmm. Imagine. You know, this song runs at the 528 hertz. Runs at the love frequency. Church was how you got away from home, and it was fun because it was on a lake, and kids would come from all over to stay a week because it was a camp too, called Camp Penuel. You know, I had a church camp across the street from me when I lived in New Hampshire. There was a church camp across the street from me. And we used to play with them. It was like a summer church camp, and we used to play with them, all the kids. Yep. Jehovah Witnesses won't knock on your door. God's bride already lives within me. Beautiful. I love that. Yep. Hey, Chris. I didn't see you come in. I was not allowed to go to any church. I was given the Urantia book. Oh. Good for you. You know, because I didn't go to church when I was a kid. Like I said, the one experience turned me off of church. But when I got the Urantia book at 21 years old, I loved the book. Yeah. And Cynthia, we're going to be doing a Urantia book book club. So if you're interested in joining, you're more than welcome to join us for that. It's going to be on Zoom, and Lynette's going to Lynette's going to be hosting. What we need to do, Lynette, is get people's emails, because that is how I send invites. So you should find out who wants to be involved and get their emails, and then send me the list. That way, when we start, when you decide you want to start, then you can send me the list, and we'll do a video, and so that everybody knows, and they'll all get an email with the link to the room that will be just for the meeting for the book clubs. And then whoever wants to host, I will change host each time we come in. Yeah. The Urantia book is great. It's awesome. It was the very first book that I actually learned and learned to love God from it, and learned to love myself, and learned about what heaven is, and it has everything. It has everything. Yep. Yep. I know you're going to come up with some great ideas, Lynette. I know you will. Right? This is your baby, so I'm leaving it all up to you. The only thing I'm doing is supplying the Zoom, since I already get it. I already pay for it. So there's no reason to get any other Zoom. It is an awesome book. And you can find it free online. The Urantia book is free online. Yeah. So my email is opalmoon29 at Gmail. Opalmoon29 at Gmail. It's on the YouTube. It's on the TikTok. Yep, you can send either me or Lynette. And I will make a list of who wants to be in the book club, and I'll just send the list to Lynette. That way you'll know how many people are going to be in it. Oh, I love you too. All right, guys, it's snap time. Here we go. Here is our butterfly. All y'all are on here, empowering yourselves and creating the new earth. This is our loved ones, our past loved ones, always with us in our hearts whenever we think of them. This is our room. This is the energy of our room. The dragon energy, the priest, the pan, the joker, the mother goose, the XOXO, the Ankh. We're always safe in here, and there's lots of magic, and we do go down the rabbit holes. Steffi did this for us, reminding us that we're always protected. We learned about who we're protected by, the Watchers, the Galactics, the Dragons, all of it, right? And this is who we are, the Rainbow Butterflies. Kathy did that for us. We are singing the song of the 144,000. So we thank you, Mother Father, that you have revealed to us your protective universal light. That within this light is complete protection from all destructive forces, and that the Holy Spirit of your presence permeates us in this light, and wherever we will the light to descend. Yes. We thank you, Mother Father, that you fill us with your protective fires of love. That within this love is complete protection from all destructive thoughts and feelings. That the consciousness of Christ is lifted up in us in this love, and wherever we will the love to be inflamed. Yes, we are so powerful, guys. I feel the power when we say this together. Here's a big old lucky hug for all of you creating today and empowering yourselves. We thank you, Mother Father, that you are in us and we are in you, that through us your will is sent forth on wings of power, that your purpose is accomplished on earth as it is in heaven, that through us your light and love and power is manifest to all the sons and daughters of mankind. We are the love. We are the light. We are the truth. We are. Divine love is working through us here and now to create our new earth. Yes. All right, here is our healing chain. All these people have asked us to connect our energy with theirs so that they can heal themselves. So however you do that, with light language, Reiki, prayer, crystal healing, any other healing modalities, I'm going to call in Archangel Raphael, have him connect his energy with all these beautiful people, and we are going to send them love, light, and healing energy now. All right, beautiful. Thank you for that. All right, yesterday we learned our angelic names and numbers. That was exciting. Um, through a meditation that I did with y'all, and that meditation is now on TikTok. You can save it and listen to it anytime to get back into that space where you can converse with your angel, or you can learn more about yourself as an angel. The sky's the limit where your imagination goes, energy flows. So you received your angelic soul name in that meditation. If you do the meditation over and over again, but do not receive your angelic name, it means that your vibrational frequency is not high enough yet to establish a contact clear enough to the angelic realm. So it just means that you have other things that you need to work on before you can establish contact. Yep. Never give up, though. Don't give up. Don't get frustrated. It will happen for you. It used to not happen for me. You just have to keep going. Keep believing. Believing is seeing. Yes, April, when we go over to TikTok in just a few moments, we are going to talk about embodying your higher angelic self. This is a key to growth. This is the introduction of higher dimensions of consciousness into your awareness. Okay. So, from now on, remember and use your angelic name that you have been given. Tangale. Tangale was mine, I believe. Yes, Tangale. Call yourself that. Call yourself whatever it is. Look, 33 people in here. This is confirmation. Call yourself by your angelic name. You can print a picture of yourself and write your angel name on it and hang it on your refrigerator. This way you accept your angelic higher self as your true identity. You must accept your multidimensional higher selves in order to reclaim your godly power that lies in your I am presence. Live your multidimensionality to manifest your divine grace in the physical realm. Yes. You leave the last pieces of your small earthly human ego, I, behind you by accepting your higher self, your I am presence, as the absolute truth. This is what moving mountains is all about. Changing timelines. Now you are completely detached from all the 3D matrix drama and safe from the reflected illusion of 3D in the fourth dimension. When you can say it is what it is to anything, that is when you know you will have made it. Yes. Now you have raised your vibes and you are becoming this God form. The old lower you with no power will fall away. Put on the God form and walk in it. To use your name can be a great help during this process. You have thought this whole time that you are just a human. Now you know that there is no such thing as a human, rather than angelic souls having human experiences for a limited time in the dense physical realm. You were born by women in a human body, but now you are morphing back into the higher angelic being that you really are. When you stop acting so human within the 3D matrix concept, You will see great power come to you. Remember that angels only love and see beauty in everything. Angels never judge and watch everything from a higher view, always heart-centered, based on pure, unconditional love. See, think, feel, do, hear, and speak only beauty and love. Sing, play, dance, have fun, and make love. That is all angels do. Always trust that the universe will provide all your heart's desires. All is perfect. You will magically morph into an angel. And as you fully accept your higher angelic self in your I am presence, your transformation begins. Now your psychic abilities start blooming. Your third eye is opening, and what you see and hear will be reliable information of truth. As you have raised your vibrational frequency, and you are connected and more aligned with Source itself. The truth is more and more enlightening your entire being and opening your heart to its fullest potential. You will experience love and abundance manifesting all over your life. This is when you have raised your vibrations high enough to match the higher fourth dimensional frequency, close to the fifth dimension. Love is what we are born with. Fear is what we have learned here. The spiritual journey is the unlearning of fear and the acceptance of love back into our hearts. Marian Wilson wrote that. All right. So that is how we embody our higher angelic self. Call ourselves this name, right? Whatever name you were given. Print a picture, put that angel name on it. Embody your higher self. Okay, Val. All right, that is class for the day. We're going to go over to TikTok and finish off over there. That way you guys can come up and talk. I know April has a story for us, which I'm looking forward to. And universe is sending us, you light up my life. You light up my life. Yes. Yep. All right, we're going to go over to TikTok in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'll see you over there.